Original Valley Gangsta Crips. The original Valley Gangsta Crips, OVGC, are primarily a notorious Black Crip Gang located in North Los Angeles in a section called the San Fernando Valley, California. The Valley, the gang originally started out as Original Valley Gangsters, OVG, and is said to have started in the Pacoima projects but later expanded throughout Pacoima. They were said to be a branch off of BGFs that were in the Valley, but other stories have it that they started in county jail and prison to keep a stronghold against other LA city gangs that would feud against Valley Blacks in jail and prison, but the early OVGs were so vicious in jail that they held their own and eventually gained the respect of all the other LA city gangs in jail. Originally, the early OVGs were said to represent a black brotherhood in the Valley that functioned like the Black Panthers. Due to the low population of blacks in the Valley at that time, the blacks needed to stick together against the powers that be and racist cops in the community in the mid-70s and early 80s. During those times, Pacoima was considered the black community of the Valley. As more blacks started to locate to the Valley, the original Valley Gangsters grew deeper, and when the drug epidemic hit the Valley in the mid-80s, the OVG gang became more sinister and started pushing Crip. A certain individual OVG legend is credited with being the first one to put the C onto OVG, but his name will be kept from this article out of respect for the G code, but the streets know who. Most of the original OVGs are from an earlier 1960s gang called the East Side Clovers. The earlier OVGs were said to represent black or gray rags, but nowadays rep dark blue and gray, and some of their members would even be seen in blue, red, and black attire such as Expo or Clipper gear, but their notorious sports logo that they deem to officially represent OVG is the Georgetown G, or anything with the letter G on it. The notorious OVGs also have Hispanic, white, and other ethnicities in their gang as well. The OVGs have a few rappers that are said to be affiliated with their gang: Doey, deceased, Richie Reseda, Johnny ROKC3TS, and C-Rock, who is doing a life sentence but is said to still be putting out his music from prison. They can be searched on YouTube, Spotify, etc. The OVG gang, as a whole, is said to have four sides to them: East Side OVGC, West Side OVGC, West End OVGC, and South End OVGC, formerly part of East Side. The East Side faction is Pacoima, Lakeview Terrace area. The West Side faction is West Side Pacoima, Panorama City area. The South End faction is Van Nuys, NoHo area, and the West End faction is the West Valley area, Canoga Park, Reseda, Northridge, Tarzana, Winnetka, and Chatsworth. The South End faction is said to be the newest of all four sides, and were said to be made up of renegade OVGs from East Side that branched out to the southern part of the Valley, Van Nuys, with a few out-of-towners, and also mixed with a defunct gang called Sherman Way Mafia Crips. The two gangs merged into what some referred to as Original Valley Gangsta Mafias, and it is rumored that they pushed 5X. It is speculated that the 5X just meant that they were between 3X and 7X. Street gossip has it that they hung out around some apartment buildings around Woodman and Strathern, some between Tyrone and Hazeltine, also around Tyrone and Friar, and down the block at Van Nuys Park in the early 2000s, or more precisely around 2005-2008. The South End faction appeared to be short-lived and defunct itself. Most of their core members got took down by the police in a few murder beefs and haven't been seen on the streets in years. In fact, many of the OVG gang members, have been swept off the streets by the cops, and the vast majority of them are doing football numbers from mostly murder cases or 3 strikes. Many of the OVGs are in the pen, and you will find a member from OVG at every prison in California. Other than that, other OVG members are deceased from various causes, or just left out of town for different reasons. Make no mistakes about it, the OVGs are deep with hundreds of members, and some have even relocated to what they call the Third Valley, which is the Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster, and there is a whole new generational breed of OVGs that exist around the Valley today. The OVGs are the most hated hated Black Gang in the Valley and are said to be the Hoovers of the Valley. Based on the ratio of rivals as opposed to allies, they have more enemies than they do allies. As such, it is easier to name a few of their known allies than it is to list their rivals. The Gangsta's Finest Crips, GFC, formerly known as Gangsta's Finest Criminals, Valley Front Street Crips, Valley Kitchen Crips, and Dead End Gangsta Crips are said to be known allies of OVGs in the Valley. Ironically, the OVGs would sometimes beef with each other, but at the end of the day they all push as one. It is unclear whether the Valley BOPs are allies to OVG or not. Once upon a time, the OVGs and the Whitsett Avenue Gangsta Crips, WAGC, were one big gangsta family. Many WAGC members came from OVG and were dubbed Baby OVGs. They were like Big Brother and Little Brother, but over the past decade a few events took place that broke the two gangs apart. Today, the two gang sets feud with each other. As for the Gangsta Crip sets from the city of LA, the OVGs are allies with most, if not all, of them. One Gangsta Crip set from LA in particular, the 83 Gangsta Crips, 8 Trey, are said to be the biggest city ally of OVGs. It is speculated that this is because the OVGs are the biggest gangsta set in the Valley and 8 Treys are the biggest gangsta set in the city. Together they form a city-valley connection. In fact, it is said that they even have crime partners together on some of their criminal cases. The original Valley Gangsta Crips push 7s, 7X, but some of the older original OVGs still push 3s, 3X, and are known to hang out at the Hanson Dam, which is located in the East Valley in Pacoima. The newer generation that push 7X claim various other parts of the valley from Panorama City to Van Nuys and have spread it out more to the West Valley in areas like Reseda, Tarzana, Northridge, Canoga Park, Gwinnett Bend, Chatsworth. This newer faction of OVGC is known as the West End. In recent years, the West End OVGCs have become the most vicious and notorious side of all 4 OVG sets. Although the OVGCs do have set turfs they claim, they exist throughout the valley in a nomadic type of way. They are known to hang out at Reseda Park, Van Nuys Rec Park, Winnetka Park, Tarzana Park, Northridge Park, even as far west as Shute Park, and various streets like Cassett and Oso, Reseda and Ingomar, Reseda and Gresham, as well as Gresham and DeSoto, just to name a few. The original Valley Gangsta Crips are the largest Crip gang in the San Fernando Valley area, along with the Whitsett Avenue Gangsta Crips. The OVGC's criminal activities consist of drug dealing, human trafficking, burglaries, home invasions, strong-arm robberies, extorting, credit card fraud, drug trafficking, assault and battery, etc., homicides including drive-by shooting, manslaughter and murder. The original Valley Gangstas, OVG, are one of the first black gangs in the San Fernando Valley along with Pacoima Pyrus, which started around the early 70s. The original Valley Gangsta Crips are regarded as the first Crip gang in the Valley.